Oh, welcome to the Sharpe Way Show. So happy to have you with me this evening. A little bit past 7 p.m. on the East Coast. I know you're saying, Larry, it's a little bit, but that's okay. I'm still coming pretty close. I got to tell you, I wasn't going to do a show today. I wasn't. But then my team was like, Larry, you got to do a show today. You got to do one of your famous Thursdays with Kathy, which used to be Tuesdays with Kathy, but then sometimes becomes Wednesdays with Kathy, but then sometimes becomes Thursdays with Kathy. And today, it is indeed Thursdays with Kathy. Let me pop it up right now. And there we are. Thursdays with Kathy, Sharpe Way special. It is today. Why? Because my queen, Queen Kathy, first of her name, is going to help us out again because she cares so much. She actually is going to help us out because we right now, in case you didn't know, in New York City, we have problems with crime. I know, crazy. We have problems with crime. Who knew? But she is going to save us because she does care and she loves us. And she did, believe it or not, she did a full-on press conference because she loves us that much. And I'm going to share some of that with you so that you can see what she is talking about. If I can find it here, let me see if I can show you what she is doing for us and how much she cares.
Morning, everyone. Last Thursday morning, Alan Scott, a 20-year-old veteran of the MTA, was brutally attacked while serving our city.
It's true.
Slashed in the neck while performing a routine safety check in his conductor's cab. Luckily, a doctor was on board, just 2 cars back. He heard a man pleading for help, jumped into action, and literally saved his life.
That is amazing. I'm happy for that doctor to do that. Here is my worry. Literally every week, an average, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, 1 time per day, someone is assaulted on the subways. That's been a thing that's been happening for a long time. Why does she care so much? You might go, wait a minute. Yeah, why now? Because it's a government employee. I'm not joking. That's the issue. And we have laws in New York City, by the way. If you attack a government employee, you get more time because they're a government employee. Think about that. And now we're going to do more. We're now going to do all types of things because they're government employee. So the average New Yorker gets beaten, thrown on the tracks, whatever, robbed, stabbed, whatever. A government employee. What? That's one of my people. You plebs, you guys can just be destroyed all day long, but you can't mess with my people. So now all of a sudden it's a big deal because the government employee. I'm not against the government employee. I'm not against any government employees, right? You should do what you got to do to pay your bills. No judgment. My judgment is on her, not the employee. You got to pay your bills. Pay your bills. She doesn't have to go nuts because it's an employee. She should, whatever she was going to do, she should have done a year ago, months ago, weeks ago, whatever she was going to do if she cared so much. But she made the swap because this was a government employee. And that part always bothers me. I remember this is back when I was running for governor in 2018. And I was on a panel. And someone was talking about, if you kill a cop, you should get the death penalty. That was the question. And I said, no, that's no, you don't. Why? Because he's a cop? They're like, yes. I'm like, no. When your loved one is killed or harmed or hurt or robbed, you feel just as bad whether that person's a cop or not a cop or a government employee. The pain is the same. You don't go, oh, well, at least my son wasn't a cop, so he's dead. No, you go, oh my God, my son has been hurt or killed, or my daughter has been beaten or robbed or whatever. And the guy said to me, I remember, he goes, you don't understand, Larry, they put their life on the line. I said, so do Marines. So do firemen. Lots of people put their life on the line. It doesn't mean all of a sudden now the person killing them is somehow has to get more punished. If you murder someone, be punished. I don't care who the person is. And she's taking action because of who the person is. So by default, she's terrible.
Over the weekend, a man was kicked onto the tracks at Penn Station. Okay. 3 people rush to save him, pull him back into safety.
I like that.
That's the New York I know.
That's the New York you know, where employees get stabbed and people get pushed onto the tracks. That's the new. Did you write that? No, that had to be shown. See, she says some dumb stuff, and one of the things I got to give Cuomo, and I always do, and I hate when I actually wind up saying something nice about Cuomo. I hate it, but at least Cuomo was smart. She's not. Like, whenever she's off script, she says dumb stuff. Or whenever you see her saying dumb stuff, her head's up. She's not reading it because no one writes that stupidity. That's just her saying dumb stuff. So, yes, that's the New York I know. People being stabbed and thrown through train tracks. That's her.
When someone's in trouble, total strangers, they come to the rescue, no hesitation.
That's 100. Yeah. How about Daniel Penny? He came to the rescue and he's going to jail. Yeah, that's not. Oh, I guess you can come to the rescue without a weapon. No, this is, again, stuff she just makes up.
That's the true heart of New York. Let me just be very, very clear.
Please.
These brazen, heinous attacks on our subway system will not be tolerated.
See that? That was your problem, New York. You were tolerating them. She now has come in, made yet another edict. We're not going to tolerate it. Well, we're going to pass a law against pushing people on whatever. Yes, the same garbage she always says.
Over the last 6.
Hold on. Is she going to go, we say no more? She always says that. Every time something bad happens, she says, I say no more. We say no more. Then it still keeps coming. Still keeps coming.
Days I've held several meetings with top administration officials, City Hall, the mayor,
meetings,
and MTA leadership.
Okay, that's good.
I challenged everyone to find new ways to work together to go after the repeat offenders.
Okay, I'm going to give you a crazy idea for this repeat offender thing. This is going to be nuts. You're going to think I'm nuts. When a repeat offender is arrested, you don't let them out of jail. I know, nuts. You're going, wait a minute, Larry. This is blowing my mind. You could just do that. When, again, she said repeat offender. I am not against bail reform at all. I'm against the garbage bail reform that New York State did, but I'm not against bail reform. I think the idea of making fairer bail is a very good idea. We should work on that without question. It is a great idea to fix the bail system. Yes. The piece of garbage law that we put in place is an embarrassment. And I said we could have figured it out if we just did one thing. And I want to repair our bad ballot access. I'm always about that. Bail reform laws. All we had to do is just say this. If it's a first-time offense, you can be let out. Maybe you screwed up. Maybe it's a mistake. Maybe you were in the wrong place, wrong time. It does happen. But you can't say, he's been arrested 6 times. There were times that people were arrested multiple times in one day. I'm not joking. That's real. And she's like, what are we going to do? I have an idea. When someone's arrested multiple times, don't let them out of jail. That could be something. When someone tries to defend themselves with a weapon, don't put that person in jail. See? I figured it out. I didn't have to have the heavy-hitter meetings at all. I just did it. It's crazy.
That the mayor and I have talked consistently about, and I appreciate his effort on putting the spotlight on these individuals. We're focusing on repeat offenders, deterring crime, and protecting the people on our subways.
We've been talking about that for years.
Our commuters, and also the unsung heroes of the MTA.
So now, I want to be clear. The MTA, the guys who drive the train and fix the train, they're now heroes. Let me go one more time to be clear. Again, not against people who work for the government. Pay your bills, man. I don't care how you pay your bills. Pay your bills. You drive a train. You're not a hero. You sweep the cars. You're not a hero. You fix the train. You're not a hero. You fix the track. You're not a hero. You're a dude or you're somebody who helps service trains. Good. That's a good job. I hope you pay your bills. You're not a hero. The only heroes are the ones that she puts in jail.
This is something I've been laser focused on since taking office. Literally, the mayor was on.
So she's been laser focused on that since she took office. She took office, what, 4 years ago? Wow, you suck. You suck. You've been laser focused for 4 years and we still got these problems? What happens when you're not focused? Does the whole place blow up? Does the island sink into the ocean? You've been laser focused since you took office? You just made that up too. She's off script. She's just making stuff up. She says the absolute dumbest shit when she's not on script.
The job 1 week, and the two of us were in the subways.
Yeah.
Many, many other times we stood together trying to figure out different ways.
I know how you have it. See, you stood together with Mayor Adams in the subway. Yes. But were you guys alone? I'm going to go with no. I bet both of you had a couple of large men with you who were armed. I would bet that's true. I don't think you were just hanging out with Eric and you popped on to the 2 train and just started hanging out. I don't think that happened. I think Eric came on with 1 or 2 guys who had guns. And I think you went on that train with some guys who had guns. So maybe if there were more chances of people to go on the trains armed with guns, things might change. It seems to make you a whole lot safer. I'd like to be safer too.
Make sure people feel safe on our subways. And
you felt
safe on our subways.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not here today to talk to you about numbers and tell you stats and statistics about what's going up or what's going down. Well,
because that would make you look really bad. So I get that. I'm not going to tell you all the stats that will make me look terrible. So I'm just going to keep moving. Okay.
I'm here to take action.
Ooh,
because that's what the situation requires.
She's taking some action. She's going to go in there, take some people out. Okay, show me the action. I want to know the action. Now, hold on. When she's had to take action in the past, the action that I remember, every other action she's taken was write checks. That has always been the act. She's good at that. Create government jobs, create checks, reward her cronies. That's kind of how she takes charge and does stuff. That's what she does. And then she says it's successful because she wrote a check and had new jobs. She then calls that successful. That's kind of been what she's been every time she said this. So let's see if this take action thing is paying people more money, and then her using phrases like I'm proud or I'm working hard, because she always says how proud she is and how she's working hard. Meanwhile, my city is slowly being flushed in a toilet and my state is dying. But she is working hard and she's proud. I guess that's good.
Rattling off statistics.
Yeah.
Saying things are getting better doesn't make you feel better.
But that's what you always do. Okay, maybe she's having her road to Damascus moment, and she is now realizing that saying that garbage is bad. Okay, maybe.
Especially when you've just heard about someone being slashed in the throat or thrown onto a subway tracks.
Yeah.
There's a psychological impact.
Okay.
People worry they could be next. Anxiety takes hold.
Yeah, and that's when guys like Daniel Penny do what they did. That's what happens. It's true, right? That's true. Shelley says she's going to double down with 2 boots on your neck. Well, yeah, 1 clearly isn't enough. Yes. The amazing great babe, who I know is leaving us. Maybe if we were allowed to defend ourselves and protect ourselves and remove sensitive area status, the criminals might think twice, not knowing who's packing. Yes and yes. As I said, when she's in the subway, there's people packing. That is for sure.
And riding the subway, which should just simply be part of your everyday life, is filled with stress and trepidation.
Okay.
If you make a living as a transit worker,
okay,
that is compounded exponentially, that level. See, this is what bothers me. Again, no shade on transit workers. It's a good job. I hope it pays your bills. I hope you're happy. But you're not magical because you're a government worker. Their anxiety is more. No, it isn't. They go to work like everybody else, and everyone who has a tough job has anxiety. That's how that works. When I work, I have anxiety. When everyone works, they have anxiety. That's what it's like. You're not special. Stop pandering and actually solve something. This pandering makes me want to vomit. Stress. So I say this will not stand.
There it is.
Not on my watch.
Not on my watch.
So today, in the wake of these latest attacks,
tell me,
I'm unveiling a 5-point plan to rid our subways of people who commit crimes.
5-point plan. So, okay, she's going to actually have new policies that will make things better for people. Okay, she has had her road to Damascus moment. I cannot wait for this amazing plan. And I'm sure she has. I'm sure she has a great plan. Go ahead.
And protect all New Yorkers.
She's going to protect all New Yorkers. Okay. That's amazing. She's going to protect all of them. Love it.
Whether you're a commuter or a transit worker.
Got to keep pandering transit workers.
Point 1.
Okay.
I'm redeploying nearly 1,000 members of the New York State Police, MTA Police, and MTA National Guard to conduct bag checks in the city's busiest transit stations.
Oh, so you're making a TSA of the subway. That's okay. That's her take action. I was right. It is the job thing. I am going to create TSA of the subway because that'll work, because the TSA works so well for us. We figured, why not put it into the subway? So TSA for the subway. So what she's going to do is she's going to make sure the people, so we can search bags. See, because when there's bad guys who know they're going to search a bag, what bad guys do is they take their knife or their gun or whatever and they put it in the bag. This way, when someone searches it, they get no, they don't. They hide the gun, don't they? If I'm a bad guy, I'm not going to put my gun in a bag, am I? I'm not going to put my knife in a bag so they can search it, am I? I'm going to put it someplace else, right? I'm going to hide it. So who are they actually searching? They're bothering and harassing the good people who don't have these weapons on them, who are trying to follow the law. Yeah. So her answer is, I'm going to solve things. Point 1, punish the innocent. Point 2, make sure everybody who clearly has no problem whatsoever is slowed down and demoralized. Okay, not the plan, not sounding so good so far. This is not, point 1. You're losing me already.
Which is why I want to introduce the leadership team that is helping us get to this point.
Because, okay, you need a leadership team to have guys just sit there, to have cops search you. You know what? I think cops know how to search you. I don't think you require a leadership team for that. Oh, yes, you do. Because you got to make more jobs. Sorry. Yes, you do.
Lieber, you'll be hearing from him momentarily.
Okay.
You've heard him speak many times about the challenges we face on the subway.
Yeah.
And he is so committed to making sure that our subways are safe, and I applaud.
He's so committed, and I applaud. She just said that. But now she's saying the subways are a disaster. So he's so committed. Again, this is the work hard piece. He's so proud. She's so proud. But what about results? Why aren't you firing him? Shouldn't she be saying, and here's the guy who's responsible for the disaster, and he's fired? Or here's how we're going to make him be the first guy to get searched. Let's give him a full cavity search because all the pain is his fault. He's been talking about all this garbage for literally years. I'm not making this up. You've seen him on the shows before, for years. And it sucks. And it sucks. And is he being fired? Is he being reprimanded? No, he's going to get a raise. I'm not joking. He will now have more power. He will now be sitting here in front and talk like he's a smart guy. And he'll be, oh, he's so awesome. Why? Because I guess he works hard or something. No, he's part of her horrible crew of loyalty. These are her loyalists.
His leadership. We also have Thomas Taffy, the chief of operations for MTA Police. The MTA Police are a critical part of this answer.
Okay.
But also, we have Major General Shields.
Okay.
This is my team.
Your
the
team.
Army National Guard. And Superintendent Stephen James of the New York State Police. All of them have come together.
So all of them got to figure out, she brought the whole crew together. All of the top level people making buku dollars off of New York State to fix a problem that we've had in New York City for decades. We got to get all these people here to figure out why there are people who are angry in New York. I have an idea. Make life better in New York. Make people not so damn pissed off. I actually had plans on my website from 2018 how to help people out. I had the Carrying Caboose plan that was all about getting people into getting help. What's her plan? Shelley was right. Double boots.
help us figure out the resources that we can bring to this situation.
Okay.
So we'll
Resources.
be having
That's
750 members of the New York National Guard.
There's the boots.
As well as another 250 personnel from state and MTA police. You'll start seeing them at the tables, making sure that weapons are not being brought in.
Now, hear what she just said. She's going to keep all New Yorkers safe. She said that, her words, say keep all New Yorkers safe and making sure no weapons are brought in. Her words. I guarantee you within 30 days, we will see the same violence. What will be her answer? More boots, more cops. That will be her answer. She just said it. She is just saying things. She doesn't believe any of this.
Working in concert with our New York State Police, as well as our NYPD.
Yeah.
Because no one heading to their job or to visit family or to go to a doctor appointment should worry that the person sitting next to them possesses a deadly weapon.
Unless that person is going to protect them from the other person with a deadly weapon. Unless that would be it. Or unless that person has one. Right? Little change, maybe.
They shouldn't worry about whether someone's going to brandish a knife or gun. That's what we're going to do at these checkpoints.
That's going to save it right
Number
there,
two.
checkpoints. Okay, that was one.
I'm proposing that we amend New York State laws.
Now come the laws. Okay, first come the boots. Now come the laws. Okay, here we go. Help me out with this one.
This session, in a matter of weeks.
What are we doing?
To allow courts to ban anyone from riding the subway or taking a bus who's convicted of a violent crime against another passenger.
So, to be clear, this is her awesome plan. What we'll do is, instead of just taking the repeat offender and keeping them in jail, no, we're not going to do that. Instead, because by the way, for those who don't know, most of the people doing this, almost all of them are repeat offenders. I'm not joking. I'm not making that up. Almost all of them are repeat offenders. So you could just keep the repeat offenders in jail until their court date. That will be option number one. Or her 75-point plan with cops and now this. So, okay, this is the problem. There are a lot of people in the subway who have an actual problem, who have a serious problem, mental, addiction, something like that, right? That's true. A lot of them, and many people who do these, who have these actual problems, they're the ones who are violent. Many of them, not all, but many of them are. So now I am one of those people. I'm in trouble. I have an episode. Someone thinks I'm a bad guy. I get convicted. I can't drive because I have all these problems. How am I going to get to my doctor appointment? How do I get to my therapy? How do I do that? I can't get in a bus or a train now, can I? Because of her awesome law. Who's going to punish? So point one is search, harass the innocent. Point two, punish the poor and broken. I'm not joking. That's literally, I got 5 points. I am going to first harass and punish the innocent. Then second, I'm going to punish and cruelly destroy those people who are broken. That's what I'm going to go do. That's her awesome plan. That is her awesome plan. How are you going to do that? Right? Does it affect the wealthy? No. The wealthy don't need the subway. If there's some wealthy kid, some wealthy guy, some wealthy other person goes down to the subway, does something dumb, hurts somebody, they get convicted, they've got a lawyer, they'll be fine, they'll get out on bail anyway, and then they'll just take Uber. They're wealthy. Oh, their family's wealthy, right? That person probably isn't wealthy, but their family is. Their family is. Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Here we go. That's point two.
Now, there's already a similar law in the books intended to protect personnel from the MTA.
See, personnel from okay, yes.
But that law has many loopholes that we've identified, and indeed, it's only been used 3 times since it was first enacted in 2020.
Maybe because it's a garbage law that you put in 2020 that was garbage. Could be that.
We're going to get to the bottom of that. Find out what's missing, what language is required. So,
iron fist, baby.
If you assault someone on the subways, you won't be on the subways.
Because that's going to work.
Will now have the power to make sure that for at least 3 years, they'll have the ability to keep you off the subway.
So they're going to make sure that a judge will make sure that you can't use the subways. Number one. Number two, they're going to have congestion pricing in Manhattan. So if you do want to use a car, it costs even more. Yeah. So you're just screwed. Make a mistake, and we're going to make sure that, and here's the worst part. What happens when you go, I have to get to my doctor's appointment, I have to do something, so I've got to go on a subway? Are they they're gonna check and see if you're the guy? Are they gonna ID check for everybody? Or what are you gonna brand people? Literally about 3 million people use the subway, give or take, up to 4 million people use the subway every day. You're gonna check all of them? You're gonna use the Chinese cameras for face recognition? Is that the next thing? So you know which guy or gal got convicted so they can't be on? How the hell do you do that? What kind of, all this, to be forward, they're not gonna check anything. All that's going to happen is when a person gets arrested, they're going to check, are you on the list of people who can't be on the subway? Oh, you are? Now you get extra years on your sentence of whatever you did. That's all. This is another way of prosecutors being able to throw more charges at somebody so they'll just plead out. All you've just done is given DAs and prosecutors more ways of putting young black people in jail, which is what she loves to do. So now you're going to put more black people, particularly poor ones and those who are hurting and broken, more broken, poor black people go in jail thanks to our Democratic Governor Hochul. I'm not even joking. I wish I was joking. I'm not.
Now, this isn't some radical idea.
Sal says, so when are they just going to outlaw being poor? See, Sal, you should be the governor. You would just outlaw being poor. Nobody would be poor. See, you got the plan. Got the wrong governor, Sal. Should be you.
Yeah. Think about if you're convicted of a DWI.
Yeah.
The judge determines that you're a danger.
Yeah.
Guess what? You're not riding on our roads.
Okay. This is even worse, right? She's proud of destroying people. Again, convicted of a DWI. She didn't say killed somebody, ran somebody over, hurt somebody. So you get a DUI in New York State, you can't drive. Upstate New York, you can't live. You could survive without a car in New York City. I actually rarely drive. I live in Queens. I rarely drive, right? You can survive without a car in New York City. No problem. But you can't survive without a subway or the bus. How you can get around New York City? You can't. You go upstate, you can't survive without a car. So make a mistake, hurt nobody, get convicted of something, and now done. Now your life's over. Brilliant. And she's proud of this. Who gets punished? Again, right? You're upstate New York. You get a DUI. Again, you didn't hurt anybody. I'm saying you did not hurt anybody. You didn't, do something. You just got a DUI. You lose your license for 3 years now. Okay, great. How are you going to pay your bills? How are you going to feed your family? What if you got kids? What are you going to do? Is the rich person harmed by this? No. If you have a rich family, your family takes care of you or drives you around because you're wealthy. The wealthy aren't affected by this, right? The wealthy, they either have drivers or they have family or they have enough money to not have to work. Either one, because they're wealthy. You're not wealthy. How are you going to pay your bills? How are you going to feed your kids? You don't have a car. What are you going to do? You're going to drive anyway. You're going to drive anyway. And when you drive anyway, what's going to happen? Convicted, boom, jail time. Another way to punish the poor. So step one, punish the innocent. Step two, punish the poor. Well done.
You're not able to drive a vehicle.
And proud of it.
License.
Yeah.
The same principle right here.
Same horrible principle.
I expect the judges to use that discretion. Point 3, we're strengthening the cooperation between the police who patrol the subways and the district attorneys who prosecute the crimes.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Okay. Step 1, punish the innocent. Step 2, punish the poor. Step 3, step on the Bill of Rights. Okay. It is on brand at least. She's on brand.
That came up at our meetings.
We had a meeting. How do we get rid of the Bill of Rights? Can we figure out a way? Yeah, we can. Got this. People are afraid. Trash their rights.
District attorneys need to know the full body of evidence that's out there with respect to these recidivists and repeat offenders, something that the mayor...
Now, note she keeps saying that. Why does she say that? Because what I keep telling you is, and again, I'm not making this up. You can check this up if you want to. The vast majority of people who are committing these crimes are repeat offenders. So you could just keep the repeat offenders in jail until their court date because they're repeat offenders. You could do that. Or step 1, punish the innocent. Step 2, punish the poor. Step 3, destroy the Bill of Rights. I mean, I could go either way.
And I understand. Enhanced coordination will be a hallmark of our effort to drive down gun crime. It has been.
Okay, gun crime. Did anyone talk about a gun? Did anything she just said talk about a gun? Nope. Pulled that one out of nowhere. So let's just pull out a gun and what? No one, who said gun? Nobody did. She did.
Coordination has helped us drive down gun crime. We spoke about that earlier this week up in Albany. Also helped us deal with car thefts, driving down those crimes as well.
Okay.
I believe it can work on the subways as well.
All right.
A couple of components. Effective immediately, the MTA will work with the district attorneys and the NYPD to create a new early warning system.
An early warning system. Huh. Okay, so when you see the guy pull a knife out, I'm trying to, how do you do early warning for some guy shoving you on the tracks? All right, tell me. Maybe I'm missing some. Help me out. You know what? She is a queen, and she does talk to God. She did tell us this. So you know what? Hook me up. Show me how you're going to do an early warning. You know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Teach me something, Your Majesty.
Repeat offenders. We know who they are.
Yes, you do know who they are because you've arrested them multiple times. And you could just, I feel like I'm messing up. What am I missing? You could just keep them in jail until their court date. Or you could do all this stuff.
They'll flag the criminal history at the time of arrest.
Oh,
so it can be fully considered when decisions regarding charging and bail are made.
Okay, so what she just said was an early warning. That's what she said. This is an early warning, she said. Now she's talking about when they're charging and deciding bail. See, when you're charging people and deciding bail, she may not know this, the crime has already happened. That's not early warning. That's after the fact. I think you got something confused. That's not early warning. This isn't, majority report. It's not that. Minority report. It's not that. Yeah, that's not how that works.
Second, we're establishing regular meetings between the police on the subways and the district attorneys.
That'll help. Some meetings.
We'll hold them at the Crime Analysis Center right here in New York City. Again,
Crime Analysis
bringing people together, sharing data, making sure there's accountability.
Or keep them in jail. Like you could do the crime data center. You could do the minority report. You could do all of that. Have the meetings. You could. Or keep them in jail. I'm going back to the keep them in jail piece.
And let me explain why that's significant.
Help me out. I don't get it.
These meetings will give a regular forum for police and DAs to get the full picture of someone who's charged with the crime.
Because you know what police and DAs don't do well? Talk. They don't communicate well, except the fact they have a 90-some-odd% conviction rate. We need 95%, 98. Wow. Ira says she's worse than Cuomo. Man. Ira, I want to say you're wrong. I want to give you a reason why you're wrong, but I can't. I really want it, but I can't. Oh my God. Okay.
Have the police had run-ins with them before? The police certainly know. Are
yes.
they constantly causing trouble? Are
yes.
they menacing to others?
Note, she keeps bringing this up because my initial point is the vast majority of people who are doing this are repeat offenders. Just keep them in jail.
I want DAs to have all the background and information they need to make a strong case before a judge in court. This will make sure that the repeat offenders are dealt with accordingly.
What's accordingly?
Again, I need the judges to uphold their end of the bargain.
Okay, that was brilliant there. Because when this plan fails, she will say, it was the judges that did it. See, we had a minority report plan. We had the whole thing. And the judges were supposed to be Tom Cruise. and they didn't do the Tom Cruise piece. So it's their fault, not mine. Clearly, we have to have more meetings with judges.
An important part of this.
Okay.
Last year, we gave judges more discretion.
Yeah.
You all know the budget was 1 month late.
Yeah.
But I held it up to make sure I could get the discretion back to judges that they no longer would simply use the least restrictive means when considering bail. Yeah. That is history. That is not the law. It has come to my attention that there are still some judges applying that standard.
So first off, you didn't know that already. That's the saddest part. And you know what? I believe her. I believe she didn't know. I do. I think this one, she's not lying because she really doesn't care. So I think she actually doesn't know because she really doesn't care. She's like, whatever. Oh, that's the poors. They're getting like killed and stuff. Whatever. She doesn't care. She's royalty. The poors can die. Does not care what at all. Does not care one single bit. Yeah. So I think she does actually did believe that. And then she's like, these judges, or you could just keep them in jail, or you could blame judges and have meetings and punish the innocent and punish the poor. I mean, that's another option.
So we're talking to the Office of Court Administration, enhancing education, saying, no, the law has since changed. It has gone into effect, and that would be having gone into effect since May of 2023.
See, you know the one thing judges don't know? The law. They don't understand how that works. And so she is now going to go tell the judges about the law. So they need her to educate them because judges don't know anything about the law. So she's going to go educate them. I mean, they don't know about the Constitution. That's true. But they do know about the law, but not the Constitution. Go ahead.
So I'm anticipating that we'll see a change in results when you look 1 year from now. But these new laws have only been in place less than a year. So I'm just saying to the judges, use the tools that we've now given you to protect New Yorkers.
Okay, so it's judges' fault.
Point 4 is about protecting our train.
Oh, Jesus, here comes point 4. Do we have to go any further? I hated it at point 1, and I hated it more every time. Now we're going to 4. Come on, keep coming. Bring them.
Transit workers.
Okay.
If a camera
we're protecting camera workers.
Been positioned
cameras
on Alton Scott's conductor cabin last Thursday. Okay. We probably would have already apprehended the person who slashed his neck.
Wait a minute. I could have swore she told me that she was going to do like preemptive stuff. Isn't that what she said? Now she's talking about apprehending the guy who slashed the worker. I think she's confused. See, the problem is that's after it's happened. That's not preemptive. But okay, so we're going to put a camera inside in his house, his little area.
Or maybe they wouldn't have done it at all if they knew they were.
We've had cameras in New York City for a long time. Cameras everywhere. They're still doing crime. So I don't think so. That Gucci store that got robbed in New York City, cameras everywhere. So I don't think there's any evidence that that's true.
Or cameras watching their every move.
Okay.
Now, I've already pushed the MTA to speed up the installation of cameras in subway cars, and thank you for your commitment to do that. We've shaved off many, many months, and every month is going to make a difference. They'll all be completed by the end of this year, not the longer period that had been first talked about.
So point 4 is more cameras everywhere. So, okay. So point 1, punish the innocent. Point 2, punish the poor. Point 3, destroy the Bill of Rights. Point 4, destroy our privacy and create a surveillance state worse than it is now. This isn't getting better.
And I think that's an essential deterrent.
What evidence do you have of this?
Someone who's going to do harm to someone else knows that is being recorded, that there's cameras watching them.
Okay, these are, okay, you heard her say it. These are repeat offenders. Some of these some of these people have been literally arrested. I'm not joking. Again, if you think I'm making this up, do your own homework here. 6, 7, 8, 9 times. They know they're going to be caught. They've been caught 6, 7, 8, 9 times. They're not thinking, this time I'll get away. They're not thinking that. They know they're going to be caught. They've been caught multiple times. They are literally repeat offenders. Why would you think a camera would matter? They would probably smile at the camera and tell them their address. Hey, Sergeant Jones, I'll be home at 6. You can come arrest me like you did last week, and I'll be out again because Governor Hochul can't figure out one thing. Just keep me in jail until I go to my court date. That they won't do.
They might just think twice about it.
No,
also,
they won't.
If they go forth with committing a crime, we'll have the evidence to make sure they don't do it again.
Okay. Sometimes she sounds so dumb, I feel like it's got to be a skit. They are repeat offenders. They're going to do it again. They have been doing it again. They were caught. They were charged. And they're doing it again. So, is it me? But
also,
okay,
there's a blind spot in the cabin. And that's why today I'm directing the MTA to install cameras in every single conductor cabin, as well as the platforms that face the cabins. Now, these transit workers, they have hard jobs, a lot of uncertainty, especially in light of the recent increases in crimes on the subways that they.
Yeah, and you've been in charge, especially when you think about how bad you've been as governor. Especially what she should say is, I have been a terrible governor, and their job is terrible because I'm completely incompetent. So I'm going to put some cameras in there because I'm going to blame somebody else other than myself.
They have seen. They keep our city running morning, noon, and night, and they deserve every level of protection to offer.
They do. You, non-people who are members of unions who give me money, you deserve nothing, but they deserve everything. They deserve everything. John goes, you get a camera, you get a camera, you all get cameras. Now note what this is doing, by the way, because John brings it up perfectly, right? What is this actually doing? Is she actually just keeping them in jail? No. She is now creating a series of new jobs and projects for her cronies that she can now give out money to. I don't know how much money. This is going to be tens of millions of dollars that she's now giving out to her cronies to now invest in more things. The subway system in New York State has been being invested in all day long, constant investment. Now there's new ways of paying and other ways of paying, other ways of this and ways of that. Yet the service is still garbage and the people are still being killed. But we keep dropping money. More, as I told you, more jobs, more money, and no change. So this is going to be, I don't know, it's going to be tens of millions is what I would tell. That's my guess. See if I'm right. Tens of millions. We'll see if I'm right.
Information gathered on the cameras will simply be used to aid in the prosecution of anyone who commits an offense.
That's not preemptive.
Point 5 is we're expanding the joint MTA and New York City run pilot program. It's called.
Okay. I don't know what this new program is, but 4 are already bad. Can 5 be worse?
Scout. You may have heard of it. It stands for Subway Co-Response Outreach Teams. Now,
wow, subway co-response. Okay, that sounds nice, I guess. And it says the Surveillance Security Industrial Complex. Yes, AKA security theater. Yes, exactly right. We keep making it look like it's secure without making it actually secure. It is very good theater. All right, so we got this subway co-response group. Okay, what's this one doing? Maybe this is good. Maybe we had to go through 4 garbage ones to get one good one. Let's see.
These are led by mental health clinicians.
Oh.
But here's the difference between them and the SOS teams that I've talked about.
So you've done SOS teams before. You put teams together before that did not work, that failed, that have been failing, right? That's true. Keep going.
These teams are also backed up by the police.
I'm trying to think. Does anybody remember a governor candidate in 2018 who had come up with a police reform project that at one point had a group where it was mental health people that had police backup in case things went bad? That guy was 2018, New York. Oh, right, me on my website for 6 years. I told you to do this 6 years ago. 6 years ago. Look, you know what? I shouldn't be upset. I shouldn't be. I think maybe I'm going too far. You know, all the stuff I put up with, all the crap I do here and I keep fighting like there's no tomorrow, all of those, I think at least some of it's starting to get through. She used my talking points. She did. She used my talking points when she did her inaugural address off my website. And I guess people went back into my website again and said, man, we in trouble. Sharpe's got some good ideas. Let's check his stuff out. So they did, okay, points 1 through 4 are punishment and grift, because we always have to have punishment and grift. So they went 2 for punishment, 2 for grift, and one of Larry Sharpe's things that might actually work. Let's try that. If it works a little bit, that'll validate our punishment and grift. So I think that was the plan.
They have police officers along for backup, and they only deal with individuals having the most severe mental health crises. Those that are SOS mental health teams cannot safely approach without police support.
I literally,
these are literally
this
the
is my
people
plan.
who could pose danger to themselves or to others, and it is evident.
She took this off my website.
These teams will work to get them out of the subways. They already are there. Get them services and support.
They're already there. Okay. That was, okay. I guess I should be happy. In 2018, I came up with this idea for police force. This is literally my idea. And again, if you think I'm making it up, I'm saying it publicly. She could sue me, get mad, call me a liar. No. I have evidence of, maybe I'll do a show and I'll show you me talking about this from 2018. I actually said this. In 2022, I had the idea of what I call was the carrying caboose. I always said people are in the subway. Make the last car of every other train a carrying caboose, which is an area where people from nonprofits and private security, not cops, because a lot of people who are either homeless or have addiction problems are afraid of cops. So private security and nonprofits being sponsored, not being paid by taxpayer dollars, but sponsored by large companies who want to do the right thing, who want to have a nice idea. See, GE loves us and they're going to sponsor the carrying caboose. That kind of thing. We could actually have done that. I talked about that. And she's trying something similar, but of course, she can't have it be sponsored. She has to be the one to pay for it because she has to give out those jobs. So, yeah.
And if something bad happens, they can use force if necessary to have them removed from.
There we go. Jay Boogie says, I remember that. Yes, I know you do. See, I'm not just making this up. She's now taking, I guess I should be flattered. I mean, I guess I should be. She's actually using some of my talking points. So maybe I'm starting to get through. Maybe me smashing my head against the wall is actually starting to get through. Except, of course, she did have to use, government power. But that's okay. I guess I should take what I could get. While I'm here, guys, please hit the like button. If you're liking this, if it's entertaining, if it's interesting, click the like button. It does matter. Also, if you can comment, that's also good. Share is also good. If you're watching on X or Twitter, you can always repost this, re-exit. It's all good. If you like what I'm doing, you want me to do more of this, you know what you can do? You can become a member. Click join if you're on YouTube, Larry Sharpe YouTube. $49 per month will help me out. If you don't want to keep doing that, no worries. You can always super chat me. If you're on Larry Sharpe YouTube, super chat me if you like. Always works well. But no matter what, you can just click the like button. It is very helpful. It helps tremendously. So thank you all for that. Any of you who will be doing that, let me keep grabbing. So
the subway. In many cases, it means getting.
Hold on. Andrea says, did you say you have your ideas posted so others can use them? All the time. All the time. To be forward with you, this is going to sound crazy. I actually tried. My team reached out to her team to say, do you want me to help you with policy? We reached out. I said, fine, I'll do whatever. Can you give me? Nope. Totally ignored. No response whatsoever. They just take my stuff off the website. It's fine. Well, I'm sorry. They take my stuff off the website, bastardize it, and then call it their own thing. So that's what they do instead. So yes.
I'm into the psychiatric hospitals. I've had a lot of effort trying to open up more beds so they're available.
Okay. I've had a lot of effort to open up more beds. In New York State, we have a thing called the certificate of need. Some states have it, some don't. New York State has it, certificate of need. What does that mean? If I want to have more hospital beds, she has to sign off on it. I'm not joking. She decides. Prior to the lockdowns, to the virus, New York State had about 50,000 hospital beds, give or take. After the lockdowns and the virus, New York State has about 50,000 hospital beds. No change. Exactly the same. Who decided that? At that time, it was Cuomo. Now it's her. All she has to do is say, yes, have more. There's no trying. She can just announce it. Literally. Today she can go, anybody who wants to add another 1,000 beds, go. She could just do that, literally. And people could stop building more beds. It's that simple. She's like, oh, I got to try. I got to try. Oh, no, you don't. Just go, hey, I just authorized 5,000 more beds. Good luck. Done. It's that simple. She won't do it.
And also, we have 2 of these teams in place right now.
We need teams for
Today,
this.
I'm announcing an additional $20 million.
Bingo! $20 million. I knew it was tens of millions, and it was 2 tens. I thought it might have been more, but yes, there we go. So I'm announcing more of your taxpayer dollars to try to fix something that I have broken for decades and years, which I can't seem to fix. I keep throwing more money at it, and I'll just keep going.
You have up to 10 more teams by the end of next year. Now, this is, nice. Again, an addition.
10 more teams. What does that mean? Didn't I tell you? More money, more jobs. So she's just made more jobs. And she's created more jobs and more money. Will this solve anything? It will not. And Joel knows it. Dollars going to cronies, friends, and family. Yes, literally that's what's happening. This is another grift. She is taking the idea of some guy who is now scarred, who now has PTSD because he's been stabbed on his job. That guy's in trouble. He's going to have some issues the rest of his life. Of course he is. Of course he is. But what will she do? Make things better? No. She will give money to her cronies, her families, her friends, and as Andrea says perfectly, buying more votes. That's what she's doing. And moving forward, in that way, she is better than Cuomo. What I mean by that, when it comes to giving out jobs, she is the ring giver. She gives all the jobs out like there's no tomorrow. Every one of her plans is always the same thing. More money, more jobs. She's proud. She works hard. Every time. It never changes. Michael Voss is on. Yes, that's 20 million to start. It'll be way more by the governor election. Won't save a single person. Yes, yes, and yes. It will be more because, we thought it was going to work and it didn't give us what we wanted. So we need another 20 million and blah, blah, blah. We need some more and it will not change anything. That's correct. Yes. And we know it already. And so does she. This is why it's so bad. So does she.
To our SOS teams, which
all you had to do, like I already had this plan. I said this in 2022. I was like, we can fix bail reform. They're like, how, Larry? It's terrible. This is how. You focus it on first-time offenders. That's it. Focus bail reform on first-time offenders. You made a mistake, you get a shot. You made a mistake. You're a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-time offender? Why are you getting out on bail? Why? Problem solved. That and my carrying caboose plan, problem solved.
They've been doing tremendous work. I've met them many times. We've had them into our office.
She's been working hard.
They've moved more than 350 struggling New Yorkers off the streets and into stable housing. The result that we were looking for, and it's getting better. People feel the difference.
You just said it wasn't. Okay. She's telling us she has to mobilize the National Guard. She has to add 1,000 more cops and soldiers to New York City subways. She's saying she has to spend $20 million to create 10 more of these cool super duper teams, whatever things she's doing. She's saying she has to violate our rights and punish the poor. And then she goes, and it's getting better. This is better. What? What?
So, to recap our 5-point plan.
Oh, do we have to?
Bank checks will be conducted by over 1,000 members of the New York State Police, MTA Police, National Guard. In addition to what the city is doing, we're coordinating with the city of New York, so people will see this.
So even though she's against stop and frisk. Got it. Okay.
Bill to allow judges to ban people from using the subway. People who attack others and are convicted of a
punish
violent
the
crime.
poor and people of color.
Improve coordination between police and DAs to keep violent criminals off the subways. Cameras on and in the conductor cabins. And expanding our mental health outreach teams. Here's the message.
The only one that was decent was the last one. That was decent, I guess, ish. That was decent-ish. So 4 horrible ones and one that was like, kinda. Jay Boogie says, what did I say? Stop and frisk, come back. You were right. You did call that. You did. You were right. 100%. You did call that. Correct. 100%.
Message today.
Hold on. Space says, remember when Democrats said sending the National Guard was fascist? Yeah, it's fascist when the other guy does it. See, you got to get this right, Space. When the other guy does it, it's fascist. When I do it, it's because I love government workers. So, yes, absolutely.
Anyone looking to do harm or spread fear on our subways,
yeah,
you will be caught. Okay. Plain and simple. There will be consequences.
Okay, they're caught now, right? I keep saying this. I want to be clear, you guys saw it. It wasn't just me saying it. She said it multiple times. It's repeat offenders. They're already getting caught. They know. Some of these people, I'm not joking, have been caught 8 or 9 times. Some of them more than once in a day. They are very well aware they're going to be caught. And everything you said did not change anything about them having consequences, except afterwards. But they're going to come back out and do it again anyway. So I don't know.
Task to end. New Yorkers deserve no less.
We deserve no less.
And to those who are feeling anxious, whenever you walk through those turnstiles,
I am.
We will stop at nothing to keep you safe.
We will stop at nothing to keep you, because you know what? When you look at the Constitution of the United States, when you look at the Constitution of New York State, when you look at her oath of office and job description, the number one thing it says is, no matter what, stop at nothing to keep every single American and New Yorker safe. Wait, I don't remember that at all. You know why I don't remember that? Because that's BS. It's nowhere. Nowhere in her job description is keep every New Yorker safe. Nowhere in the Constitution does it say that. Nowhere in the New York State Constitution does it say that. Nowhere in her oath does it say, my number one job is keep every American, every New Yorker safe. She's made that up. Made it up. It's the same as if you get on a bus, and you get on a bus, and the bus driver gets up and goes, okay, it is my number one job here. My number one job is to teach all of you Chinese. I'd be like, dude, what are you talking about? Yep, number one job. Teach you all Chinese. Dude, drive the bus. What are you doing? Drive the bus. No. I will without, oh my God, I will stop at nothing to teach you all Chinese. Dude, you could just drive the bus. I don't need you to teach me Chinese. This is her. I'm not asking you to keep every New Yorker safe. I'm asking you to stop New Yorkers from feeling so horrible we keep leaving. We are losing 300,000 New Yorkers every single year under her watch, and it's not. And her answer is, you know what? We'll make a police state. That'll work. That'll make people want to stay. We'll have a police state. That's what we'll do. We'll take away all the rights. That'll make it happen. People love when we take all the rights away. That's what it is. I can't believe how terrible this is. Andrea says, trampling on your rights to keep you safe. Yes, that's accurate. That is completely accurate. Joe says, come on, Larry. God told her to keep us safe. You know, he probably did. I mean, he does talk to her. She did tell us this. And again, if you're not a New Yorker and you're listening to this, maybe like, are you joking? No. She said she talks to God. Told us this years ago. So she wanted us to be her apostles. Again, she said that. You can just Google Kathy Hochul apostles. You'll see the quote. She said it. She wants us to be her apostles. So God talks to her. You know what, Joel? I should have thought that maybe God told her to do that. It's possible. Maybe God did. So I don't think so, but maybe.
And your family members.
Okay, tell me.
And restore your peace of mind.
Oh, thank you.
Now, to further talk about and amplify these efforts, I'd like to introduce Jana Lieber. And again, thank him for so quickly responding and being there on the front lines to make sure that everyone who takes the New York City subways are safe. Jana?
Now, she literally thanked him for the work he's doing. He's been running the subway for years. This guy, he's been running the New York City subway for years. The subways are horrible. They're broken. They have to put the National Guard and state troops into the MTA. And she's saying, thank you, you're amazing. Why isn't she saying, I am so sorry I appointed this guy? He is clearly incompetent. He has ruined the MTA, and I'm sorry. Hey, tall guy who sucks, you're fired. She's not doing that, though, but she should be. Tell me why you shouldn't be fired.
Last year, in the face of huge challenges, Governor Hochul stepped up for subway riders.
Because you will right now start kissing the butt of Governor Hochul, and you make sure that okay, got it. Okay, you are just one of her drones. Okay, that's clear at least.
With her budget, she rescued the system economically, protecting.
Did you hear that? With her budget, she rescued the system economically, protecting us. What does that mean? She got Uncle Joe to write us a check. I wish I was joking. That's what he's saying. I love her because she got Uncle Joe to write us a check. She didn't fix anything. The subway still sucks, but we still all got paid. And boy, I wanted to get paid. He's saying to himself, I wanted to buy my third house. And that second house I had in Colorado just wasn't cutting it. I needed to have a third one in Florida. And thanks to her, with that budget check, I got to buy that third house in Florida. That's what he's actually saying. He didn't fix anything. He just wanted a third house. Now he's got it.
Us from cuts in service, layoffs, and even massive fare hikes that so many transit systems nationwide are facing.
Not like New York.
In New Jersey. Together with Mayor Adams, she launched the Cops Cameras in Care initiative.
Look, isn't that good? Cops Camera in Care. See? The surveillance state with love. The surveillance state with love. Aw. David says, kind of feel like Daniel Penny's owed an apology from her. She should be thanking him. Yeah, you know what? That would be amazing, but he didn't just get arrested and let out. He actually had to pay bail and stuff. He actually had to raise money for a lawyer. So no, he doesn't get that. But I agree, he should.
Improve safety within the subway system, surging officers underground, challenging us at the MTA to ramp up the installation of security cameras and bringing in new resources to help those most vulnerable New Yorkers who are sheltering in the subway system.
You could have done my plan.
Our governor has shown her commitment to transit safety and
to
our riders.
She works hard.
That work has had an impact.
Okay, if it is, okay, is there anyone who doesn't see the people in camouflage with guns behind you? There are people in camouflage with guns right behind you because you have to put the National Guard into the subway system. This is not a win. The impact you're having is going the wrong way.
Yes. Although we are focusing today on the perception of safety after Cops Cameras in Care.
See that? That guy getting stabbed? That guy getting pushed off? That's the perception of safety. That's the issue. He literally admitted that it's security theater. He didn't call it security theater. He called it the perception of safety. Mike, I'm talking to you, Mike Voss. This is what I'm talking about when it comes to wordsmithing that you get so mad about. You're like, they're lying. They're wordsmithing. This isn't security theater. It is the perception of safety. See that? That's what it is. There isn't a migrant crisis. It's an asylum seeker humanitarian crisis. You should know these things. So good. It's perception of safety. That's all.
The surge in subway crime was beaten back last year. And last year we finished not only below 2022 in crime, but below pandemic
See
levels.
that?
But today, in response to those
they finished below pandemic levels. It's not hard. It is not hard to be below pandemic levels. That's not a hard thing. I mean, at all. Yes.
The governor has talked about she is taking additional and significant actions to address the fact that riders have been put on edge by some of this news.
By the news. See? You riders are put on edge because of the news. It isn't that you just saw a guy get stabbed. No. See? It's the perception of theater.
I think these initiatives are going to make the system actually safer and feel safer. First, on the cameras, let me underscore again. Since last year, under Governor Hochul's leadership, we have increased to 15,000, the number of cameras in the system, and we're rapidly.
Okay, so over the last year, you have increased the number of cameras in the system by 15,000, right? We just said this. I'm making sure I'm clear. We've just done it by 15,000. Okay, yet you are sending the National Guard into the MTA, creating checkpoints, punishing the poor, punishing the innocent, and creating a police state. She said, you were here when she said it, the cameras will make sure people don't commit the crime. You added 15,000 of them, and people are still committing crime. In fact, they're stabbing the MTA workers.
Installing cameras on board all of the trains in the system. This has never been done before for years.
See, Jay Boogie, that's the problem. You need to have cameras in every car, in every train. If we just had more cameras, then we'd be safe. If we just had more cameras, Dave, you and your security theater. See, Larry is like Kabuki theater. It is, but we just need more of them. That's your problem, Dave. You don't get it. We need just more. If we just had a camera like every 2 feet, then we'd all be safe. That's the issue. You guys just don't get it.
That was a hole in our visibility. Now
that
is being turned around. And that's already proven to allow identification and apprehension of numerous offenders.
But they haven't found the guy yet who stabbed him.
Talk to Chief Kemper of the NYPD Transit Bureau about it, the impact of cameras on his work. And now we're doing what the governor talked about, cameras in conductor cabs, because we must first and foremost address the risk to our brave transit workers.
Okay. The pandering makes me want to vomit. I got to say it again. Not against transit workers or government workers. You got to pay your bills. Whatever job pays your bills, good on you. But you're not more important because you're a government worker. You're just like all the rest of us. We all work. We all got to pay our bills. Whether you do it in the private sector, in school, in government, I don't care. Pay your bills. Life is good. I hope you like your job. That's all I care about. Somebody like our brave transit workers. You drive a train. You're not a hero. You're a person who drives a train. Good. A guy who drives a bus, a guy who drives a truck, someone who's a teacher or a preacher, whatever. Are you extra brave? No. Stop acting, oh, heroes. Oh, they're heroes. Stop. They're people who work and pay bills. Good for you, man.
No one should have to go through what Alton Scott went through last year.
That's true.
I also want to emphasize the historic actions that the governor has taken on mental health already. $1 billion initiative on mental health.
$1 billion initiative on mental health. Think about how many jobs were made up from that. That's her SOS garbage that did not work. So she spent $1 billion. He's saying it. They say the loud part, the quiet part out loud, and people don't get it. I always show you what they actually say. They spent $1 billion. $1 billion. She said it didn't work. So they had to spend another $20 million because that was the part that was missing. And after spending $1 billion, $1 billion, you have to put the National Guard into the MTA. You know, you could have given me the $1 billion, and I actually would have had a better plan. I would have been better with the $1 billion. You can just give it to me. Hey, Larry Sharpe, here's $1 billion. Can you make it safer? Yeah, got you covered. It would have been safer. Give me the $1 billion. 100%.
No one's made a priority and a commitment of that level. The SOS program, which has already taken so many hundreds of homeless people out of this.
That was, I said, the $1 billion was part of the SOS program, which she said right before you talked didn't work, wasn't good enough. So she's got to add another $20 billion and change everything because it didn't work. And he's like, this great plan. There are people in camouflage and guns behind you.
System. And not least, the restoration of psychiatric beds, which became unavailable during COVID. We needed.
Hold on. They became unavailable. What happened? You hear this? This is this guy, I know, I see why he has his job. He is completely full of shit. I love it. And he says, talks so well. Became under the random, like the beds just all of a sudden exploded, right? The beds just blew up. The beds all broke. No, the beds were taken by people who you put in them. And all you do is go, hey, you can make more beds because I'm the governor and I just say so. Done. Shelley's like, they disappeared. Yes, the beds went away. The beds got scared of the virus and ran off. That's what happened. See, the beds were scared they were going to die of the virus, so the beds went off to Jersey. That's what happened.
Those beds back, and the governor pushed the hospitals to make them available. That's why we are able now to initiate this Scout program.
Oh, the Scout, that's the good one.
You know, it's no secret that most of the folks who are suffering with severe mental illness in the system are not dangerous. But if you're on a train with someone who's having a psychotic episode and acting out in aggressive ways, you're not going to feel safe. You're not going to feel safe.
This guy's smart. He figured out. If someone's having an aggressive episode, you're not going to feel safe. It's true. Yes, it's true.
We have to humanely address the needs of those folks.
You mean like my plan for the carrying caboose? Like that?
And the governor is now giving us the resources to do that.
And the governor is now using Larry Sharpe's plan.
In recent months, the MTA has been experimenting, as the governor described, with a program which sends out clinicians who are experts in identifying severe mental health, severe mental illness, and utilizing the provisions of the mental health law that allow for involuntary commitment.
Oh, did you hit that one? This guy's good. Mike, please, I hope your head doesn't explode. He said involuntary commitment. What does that mean? They're going to arrest the homeless. Yes. Now, if that's your plan, okay, just say it. Lots of countries arrest their homeless. If that, just say it. Yeah, we're going to arrest the homeless. That does get them off the street. You're not wrong, but just say it.
So-called 941 and 958 provisions of the state mental health law. Those have resulted in 75 people being put indoors to get mental health treatment.
See, they weren't arrested. They were put indoors to get mental health treatment. See that? That's what happened. They were put indoors, 75 of them. Wow. How many people were murdered? How many people are battered? How many you spent, again, he said this. I want to be clear. I'm not making this up. He said they spent $1 billion, and on $1 billion, they helped 75 people. I'm telling you, I could have arrested 75 people for a whole lot less than $1 billion. Like a whole lot less than $1 billion. If you want to say, hey, Larry, go arrest some people who have mental illness. I got you. Here's $1 billion. Dude, I don't need $1 billion, but I'll take it. I can arrest them for a whole lot less than that. Like a whole lot less. Do I have to keep them also? Or I just put them in what I got to do? Right? That's $1 billion worth.
People who are the most severe cases and who are, as the governor says, a danger to themselves.
I got to give this guy, he is one of the best butt kissers. All these, and the governor's leadership, and the governor, he is very good. I see why he's getting the paycheck. He's like, and then the governor keeps giving me paychecks. Like there's no problem. Yes.
As well as.
Shelley says, she says, $1 billion to help 75 people. That's how you find some beds. That's true. If you gave me $1 billion, said, Larry, arrest 75 people, get them beds. Done. I'll get them a mansion. I will get them a mansion, and I'll get some of those cool Craftmatic beds that go up and down, and some sleep numbers. I'll get them all sleep number beds. I'll get them 75 sleep number beds that go up and down in a nice big mansion. They can have the whole thing, and I'll hire some dudes to arrest them, and we'll put them all in there. We'll involuntarily commit them. That's what we will do. No worries. And I'll have a whole lot more money left over. Dave says that's $13 million per. I would have done it for $1 million. See? And I put $12 million in my pocket. No worries. Everybody gets a cool bed. You get a cool bed. You get a cool bed for $1 billion.
Very potentially dangerous to others and certainly discomforting to all of the riders.
They're proud of this.
That has been a really successful initiative because.
That is so successful that we have to have checkpoints, punish the poor, and the innocent and put more cameras in because it was like super successful.
We're pairing those clinicians with police officers. So what happens?
As I said,
people spend the time, those clinicians are spending whatever time is necessary,
whatever it takes,
to make a connection to that person, to diagnose their condition, to evaluate whether involuntary.
That part's not bad. I like that part.
And because they're spending the time, because they're
okay, this part's good, right? This part's good. I like that idea. It's part of my plan, right? But I said, put them all in a caboose. So if there are cops, they're being aggressive, the cops can bring them to the caboose, leave them alone, have them get some sleep, maybe have them get their treatment. Maybe if they have they need some kind of drug or treatment, they can get that too. Whatever they need in the back in that caboose, they can stay, they get some sleep if they need that. Meet family and friends, whatever they got to do. They can start their life back in action. You can even put a place where they can clean up, maybe some fresh clothes. They can maybe have a chance of getting back out, heading home to find family and friends, get their life on board. That's what I was talking about. And I was talking about doing that with nonprofits and sponsorships. He's like, no, because if we did nonprofits and sponsorships, I can guarantee you we can cut down that $13 million per person number a whole lot more.
Backed up by cops, and they themselves have a sense of safety. You know what? 3/4 of those cases that have been brought inside, 3/4 of those 75 people came voluntarily because the clinicians have.
Wait a minute. 3/4 of the 75 came voluntarily. So you only arrested like 20 of them? $1 billion to convince 50 people to go in on their own and to arrest 25. $1 billion. You could have just gone each one of them and said, hey, go to that mansion and get in your Craftmatic bed. I'll give you $10K. They'd been like, all right, done. I would have done it a whole lot cheaper. Hey, I'll give you $10K. Half of you listening, if I said, here's $10K, go hang out in the Craftmatic bed, to sleep in my bed for a couple of days, you would do it. For $10K, you would be like, yeah, I got you, Larry. Just tell them like you got mental issues. You'd be like, yeah, I got mental issues. Hey, Larry, where's my $10K? I'd give it to you. And I would have put a whole lot more money in my pocket. He's proud of this. He went on TV to tell you this. And just like, wow, I'm in the wrong career. I know. I should be someone who jumps in beds for $10,000. I mean, wow. I'll stay in a bed too.
The time and the safety. So this is an amazing model that we are excited.
This is an amazing model that has got us to a point where we have to create a TSA inside. Well, we have to create a TSA inside the subway. We have to search random people, and we have to start involuntarily committing people. This is wonderful. We have to do another $20 million. How is this wonderful?
Excited to expand, because we all know that a very small number of those people who are struggling are having a disproportionate impact on the sense of safety in the system.
Yes.
And I just want to say, and I am deeply moved by the opportunity it represents to address those folks who are struggling so badly. But
he is deeply moved, because in any other job, this insanely incompetent ass kisser would have been fired. Any other job, if this was not government, this guy would have been, I mean, look, he's a very good butt kisser. He's a very good smack. So smacks can survive a long time in businesses. They can survive a long time. But eventually they get caught because they're incompetent, they get fired. This guy would have been fired anyplace else. Government allows him to be insanely incompetent, just keep and the governor's leadership. He can do that all day long and still keep his job. So he is moved. He's like, I am so moved. I am so lucky that I can be as incompetent as I am, that I can just kiss the ass of the governor and keep getting paid six figures and buy my third house. God, I'm so moved. If I was him, I'd be moved too.
So to make sure that our riders feel a much more safe and orderly environment. This is a huge issue.
Huge.
And the third element of the governor's initiative I want to emphasize is the coordination with the DAs. This is essential for transit worker safety.
See, this is essential for transit worker safety. You poors who have to ride a subway, you guys don't count. The people who are part of the union that vote for us, that we get money from, those people count. You don't. Again, no shade on my MTA workers. A lot of people work for the government. A lot of people work good. Pay your bills. Not mad at you. But what about us? Aren't we also important?
NYPD stats. Last year, there were 38 people arrested for subway crimes.
Okay.
I mean, for attacks on, there are 38 people arrested for attacks on MTA workers, for 43 separate attacks on MTA workers. And together they had over 600 prior arrests.
What? 43 people. Okay. I know some of you were like, Larry, none of these guys, I know some of you were like, Larry, come on, you're exaggerating. None of these guys had 9 arrests. Come on. No. He just said 40 people had 600 arrests. He just said it. That's 15 arrests per person. 15 average. So some had 3 or 4, some had 20. If you've been arrested 15 freaking times, why are you not still in jail? I told you that some of these people get arrested, do something, and get arrested the same day because they get up the same day. He just told, I'm not making this up. You heard him say it. 40 people, 600 arrests. That's 50. Is my math right? 15, right? That's 15 arrests each. What? 50? I said 9. I said 9. I was giving the benefit of the doubt. It's 15. I thought it was 9.
1% of subway arrestees, according to the NYPD, are responsible for well over 20% of the crime. We need to have a collaboration with the DAs so they have that full information about the
Look at Mike enforcing them all. Just keep them in jail, Mike.
They have had. If
just keep them in jail.
Subway criminals, we got to make sure that everybody in the criminal justice pipeline.
They call them career subway criminals. They have a name for them. So you could, I'm going to go back to it. You could just keep them in jail or do a 5-point program, spend $1 billion last year, bring in the National Guard, spend another $20 million, make 10 more teams, start searching people's bags, don't let people ride the subway, put more people in jail, put on more cameras, or keep them in jail. She went with 5-point plan. Oh my God. Dave says 600 divided by 43 is 13.9. I know I was going 40 and 6. I was rounding. You're right. It actually more like 14. I'm sorry. You're correct, Dave. But he said over 600. So it could be, it's about 15. I stand corrected. Thank you, Dave. It's about 15. So yes.
And everyone in the chain of command is fully aware of the consequences of just releasing this person if that's going to happen.
Yes. It's as if, is it me? Do you understand how I get so damn frustrated with this? And people keep voting for these people. New Yorkers keep supporting these people. They are grossly, insanely incompetent. He's like, people don't know what happens, then stop it. Right? He says they don't know what happens. Oh, okay, then stop it. So you might say, well, Larry, why? Why won't they stop it? Right? Why won't, if they know it and they're saying, why won't they stop it? I will give you many reasons why. Number one, they don't ride the subway. They don't care. Again, they don't care. The poors do it. Let the poors die. They don't care. Let them die. They don't care. They actually don't care. Number one. Number two, they don't care. And number two, they have armed guards. If I had armed guards everywhere I went and I could just get in a limo wherever I want, I probably wouldn't care either. They don't care.
Without discussion. And we really, really appreciate the leadership on creating a more coordinated discussion. It's essential for MTA worker safety.
That's what matters.
It's essential for MTA rider
secondary
safety. And One other stat is of those.
Tell me, what other stats? These stats that he's saying so proudly are really embarrassing. Like, he's like, let me tell you some more reasons why I suck. Like, I'm really bad at this. Let me give you some more stats to prove how freaking terrible I am as a governor and how terrible I am as running the MTA.
Of those 38 arrests, there have only been 11 indictments. We have to have a dialogue about when folks are arrested, are they actually is action being taken?
Michael, I stand corrected. I said keep them in jail. You should enforce the law. You were right. They're not enforcing the law. So 38 or 40 people, whatever it is, who are getting arrested 600 times, 11 indictments. And you wonder why people aren't calling the cops. You wonder why people aren't doing it. Wow. Okay, Mike, you're right on this one. Okay.
And
well
super
done.
Important. So in closing, I just want to say, I believe that the actions the governor has announced today can have an impact, not just on statistical safety, but on the perception and experience of our riders.
See, the perception is what matters. That's your issue.
Make New York the equity transit system that needs to be, that everybody.
He used the word, Mike, did your head explode? It's the equity transit system. He used the word. He used the word that makes Michael angry. He used it. Oh my God, if he's still watching, he just threw up right now. He just threw up. Mike, wipe it up. I knew you just threw up. Oh my God, he used the word. Yes, he did. Guys, before I keep going, there's a couple of things I want to watch. Before I do, please click the like button. If you're enjoying the show, enjoy it. Click that like button. It does matter. Wherever you're watching, click the like button. If you're watching on X, please do me a favor. Retweet this right now. Re-exit, re-whatever it right now. If you want your chat to go to the front, you can always super chat me. It supports the channel, helps out tremendously. If you really want to help me do more of this, and I want to be able to do more of this, but I got to work. I got to pay my bills too. I'm not a protected transit worker. I got to do it too. So you can become a member. Click the join button from Larry Sharpe YouTube. $49 per month helps out tremendously. Every little bit counts. If you can do that, please do that. But no matter what, you can, of course, click like. That bit does matter. Absolutely. So yes. So I can go back. Joe says 200 viewers on X. Thank you. This is actually goes live on 8 different platforms. So yes. Matt says equity. Nope. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Joe says Larry Sharpe, a transit worker. I don't mind transit workers. Right? I have friends who are. No worries. I'm all good with that. But it doesn't make them special. They're just people like us. They're people. I'm people. You're people. Joe, you're important, just like I am. We're all important. Nobody's special, right? We're all important. Let me finish up as he says goodbye.
It depends on the transit system. Can use it to get to jobs and education and opportunity.
See that?
Feel that they're in a safe environment. So thank you.
But they can't if you're going to stop them, because if they get arrested, they actually can't do it.
We're ready to move forward on the implementation. I get to introduce Tom Taffy, who is the Chief of Operations of the MTA PD and a great partner.
So he's the MTA PD.
We do in MTA.
So they brought the cops in now too. And he's like, I get to do stop and frisk. They told me I can't, but now I do. Yes. Let's do this. Good morning,
everybody.
Look how excited he is. Look, you see him?
Operations for the MTA Police Department. On behalf of Chief Mueller, Chief of Police, and the men and women of the NYPD, of the MTA Police Department, I'd like to thank both the governor and the chairman for their support in our shared subway safety mission. A little bit about me, because I'm a lesser-known figure here. I was born and raised in the city, in the Bronx, and I have been one of those commuters my entire life in the subway station.
Jesus. So now they gave him time for him to be. This guy gonna be running for office, and he's gonna be running for mayor or something.
For nearly 30 years now, 27 of them in the NYPD, in the last 2 years, almost 2 years here in the MTA.
That's why he said NYPD. He was a cop for all this year, so they took a cop, put him in here. Makes sense.
So I've seen the highs and lows throughout these many generations, and I know that focus on reducing.
Shelley says first speak with a city accent. It's true.
Is as important
You're
as
right.
reducing crime itself.
He's a New Yorker.
Focus on controlling disorder, and as was mentioned here, recidivism. Policing can be and is twofold. We can ensure that everyday rules are followed through the presence, verbal warnings, outreach, and summonsing. That's what we call the quantity. And also ensure that recidivists are identified and arrested and prosecuted. That's the quality.
Yeah, recidivism. They keep saying this piece. Guys, I'm gonna wrap this by what he's saying is the same old stuff. the reality of this is, and I want to make sure that we are clear, the reality of this piece is he's just saying the same stuff. He's just saying the same stuff. That's all he's saying. The same stuff again and again and again. Look, the problem that drives me crazy is, how do you fix this? You say, Larry, what would you do? I already put together my plan to fix the MTA literally 6 years ago, right? 6 years ago. We could have fixed the MTA with no extra taxpayer dollars. You allow freight to come into the MTA at night, freight lines to come in at nighttime. Because at night, for those you don't know, in New York City, the trains only go every other train goes. Well, instead of, because there aren't many people at the middle of the night. So instead of every other train, it's a passenger train, then it's a freight train. Bring freight in. You bring freight into the city via the subway system. Not many trucks are on the road. I'm saving time and energy with trucks on the road. And you charge them, right? You go, well, Larry, you can't put these freight trains on these tracks. They'll have to have new tracks. Yes, they'll have to have new tracks. And who will build them? The people who are running the freight. Amazon, FedEx, Home Depot, whomever. They only bring freight into the city all the time. Great. Have them bring it underground, not on top. Wear and tear on my city is better. And they'll build new tracks. They'll actually make new trains. Let me ask you, if their freight is going along the tracks, if their freight is going there, is it going to be safe? Is it going to be safe? Yeah, it is. It's going to be safe. And they're going to pay for it. Why? Because they have to have safe transit. Of course they do. They'll give us a new system and it'll be safer. Of course it will. They'll have to. Otherwise, they can't put their stuff in. And they would save so much money not bringing trucks to New York City. How much money they'll save doing this? Oh, they're doing a heartbeat. I know they'll do it. I talked about it already. People are all excited about it. I know it would actually work. Freight trains. Money comes in, new tracks, new security for free. We could easily do it. Done. Not just that. Every other train, as I said, the last car, it is, of course, the carrying caboose. You have a problem or an issue, go to the back there, get taken care of, private security. Also, sponsored. No taxpayer dollars for you. You do this, we could actually fix it. And then we don't have to have tolls on our bridges. We don't have to have congestion pricing. And we can have a cheaper, less expensive, better, nicer subway system. But if we did that, here's the problem. And I said, Larry, it sounds like it makes sense. Why won't they do it? Because if you actually did it, you couldn't give out the jobs. You couldn't create the bigger budget. I couldn't reward my cronies. This is not about your safety. This is about rewarding cronies. This is about the grift. It is one massive grift. I wish it wasn't, but it is. And I tell you all the time how the grift works. I tell you all the time how it works. And I hope you see it more and more. We can fix this though. It is fixable, 100%. Guys, click that like button if you would. I know I keep telling you to do it. Please do it. And do me one more favor. Once this is over, once this show is over, do me a favor, come back afterwards and put a comment. Put a like, put a comment right afterwards. The Al Gore rhythm likes it tremendously. Guys, I want to say thank you so much for today. I may come on tomorrow. I may try it. I'm not sure if I can, but I will try to come on tomorrow if I can. Either way, I will see you all very soon.